Hi, this is a demo for a Crown Pro Audio Power Amplifier CE4000. This unit is in pristine condition. I can find no signs of wear of any magnitude on it, but first let me do my normal there's the model number, CE4000, serial number. This unit is made in USA. I'll go do a quick walk around here real quick. Yeah, this thing is pristine. I actually think it's brand new and never been used. I don't know if I turn on the light here. Yeah, if you look closely, there's just no signs of dust or dirt on the air vents. You know, and this thing pulls air through it with a fan whenever it's on, so you would normally see dirt and dust in there, but it is pristine, clean. I have done nothing to this. I've only had it about a week. All the powder coating is clean. Some of the stuff you see here is just little specks of dust and whatnot, but it's just very, very clean. See, even the I can show you the bottom here. There's no signs that it was dragged around. You know, typically these things get mounted into a rack, and there's no signs of being mounted whatsoever on the front or the rear. Lugs. It's just, if you look at the size, it's the same thing. Yeah, the screws are out. I pulled the top off just to see inside. There are a couple scrapes here, but I think it was just probably from the cord rubbing on it. And that was another thing. This appears to be the original cord. And this is one of those tie wraps that you don't really, you know, this more looks like something that they would have put on at the company. Yeah. And take one more look at the back here, and I'll show you a couple tests I did on it. So this thing came with, you know, these dual purpose inputs. I'll take these XLR connectors, and it can take the 1/4 inch connector as well, and a balanced input, or you can connect inputs up to these screws here. It's a 2-channel amplifier. Here's the output. It's got the speak on output option, or your standard banana type of plug. These plugs are what I had just for testing purposes. And then of course there's all your connections for your fault cable and sensitivity, stereo bridge mode, and then your various output filtering, pit filters. The output on this thing rated at 1200 watts per channel into 4 ohms, a 4 ohm load. So this is a professional grade unit. This is something you see at live concerts and that sort of thing all the time as a brand. And when I acquired it, I got all the original paperwork, the original performance sheet, report, manual. I got the original box, the original foam, and the heavy plastic paper or heavy plastic bag that it came in. So anyway, here I'll go into a quick test just to show you that there's no DC coming out of the outputs, which is obviously not something you want on a speaker output. Just gotta hook up the voltmeter here real quick and to one of the outputs. My voltmeter turned to millivolts. Okay, and then I'm going to turn the unit on real quick. You hear the fan kick on. Fault light comes on just as a self-test, and they go off. It's got your level adjustments here for your 2 channels, and that's what we're seeing on the output for DC. It's pretty much 0. And okay, and I'll hook up the other channel here. And you see 0.2 millivolts, so that's a very good reading. You want as close to 0 as possible. Most of the time you don't get 0, but so we're good here. Okay, now I'm going to turn the unit off and play some music through it. And that's just normal off sequence here. It runs for a few extra seconds and then everything shuts down. We'll pull these out, we'll hook up the speakers. Now, I don't have a balanced audio source, so I'm just coming from a preamplifier into these RCAs and then to these XLR adapters. So this is an unbalanced input technically, but it does function for testing purposes. And number 2. Okay. So we've got speakers hooked up and we've got input. Okay. I want to turn on my source here. Playing here on CD, and I'm going to have this playing as well. This is just my son practicing piano, because if I play commercial music like Billy Joel or something like that, YouTube gives me a copyright strike, so I don't want that. So you're only going to hear short bits of music through this thing. The felts come in, and then right now I have the preamplifier turned all the way down, so we're not seeing any signal. Let me turn off my light here. So we're not seeing any signal on these LEDs, but these will flash green when you do have an input signal that it detects. So I'm going to just turn this up a little bit. And now you can see it's seeing an input. Okay. And there's my left channel. And here's my, that's a good sound. Obviously there's a lot more power than I would need for these little speakers, but it is a test. So so that is functioning. And let me put it back on this other input here. So now I've got it on this, which is just some piano. And there we go. Seeing signals coming in. Yeah, so what's interesting too, while this thing plays here, you know, I mentioned that there was no dust in the fan. And if you look back here, inside the fan, you know, there isn't any dust built up anywhere in there. It's basically brand new. If I turn off the unit, once the fan shuts down, you will see that there isn't any dust on those fan blades at all. It is pristine. I haven't done any cleaning to this thing whatsoever. I did pull the top off here just to show. Set this down. And inside this thing, it is as clean as the day it came off the production floor. It is pristine. Really nice unit. Of course, these use switching power supplies instead of the big, huge transformers in order to give you a ton of power at a low weight. So yeah, everything is clean as a whistle. So that is my demonstration for the Crown CE4000. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for viewing.